But as you saw in the media, and Greg has shared with us, Harry is graciously willing to come and share a lot of memories and a lot of reflections. When you think about baseball in Jamestown, today we think about Harry being active in help create the Old Timers baseball organization, but he helped create that and was involved in that because you go back far enough, Harry was on the playing fields as a participant and an organizer and a developer. And so he's played a major role in the history of baseball in Jamestown and Chautauqua County from the days as a pre-teenager playing and participating in the program, and later in life taking responsibility to help organize and keep it alive, and then later in life taking the responsibility to help put together the Old Timers program. And that was one of the things that helped launch into the Chautauqua Sports Hall of Fame. And so a lot of the important things that Harry's been part of and touched on just as a thread constantly through baseball in Jamestown, whether it's in the amateur level or the professional level. And Harry says, I've got some things here, maybe we can share and talk about that. We will until our food comes, and then we stop long enough to talk with our mouth full, and then we sort of wrap it up and have fun. I told Harry, don't be surprised if they start asking you questions, and don't be surprised you're going to say something that's going to tickle a memory, and they're going to start talking amongst themselves too, Harry. So we just bulldoze them over, and we continue to do that. It's great to have you with us, Harry.
I was 5 years old and I liked to play horse. Did you guys like to play horse when you were little? Or don't you remember?
How'd that go, Harry?
What?
How'd you play horse? How'd that go?
Well, I always wanted to be the horse and pull the other guy. And my wife said to me, or my mother said to me, well, don't you be ride and let them be the horse. I said, no, I want to be the horse. Then when I was 14 years old, I delivered groceries for Jones Grocery, driving the horse and the wagon, which I liked. And when I was 17, I liked baseball. I talked to boys about joining the league, getting uniforms, and I would talk to Mr. Johnson. There was a sporting goods store on the corner of First and Main. None of you guys remember that. It's right on the corner of First and Main, across the jewelry store there. Mr. Johnson and his son had run a jewelry store there, or I mean a sports shop. And we got this team going, and we called it the Triangles. We got a whole team. The boys were a little older now, and we called them the Triangles. We played 2 years. We got in the league. I got uniforms for them, and they said they wanted to get out. They wasn't interested anymore. And Joe Nagel, he was starting a chair company on Windsor Street. That's when a chair company, you know where that is, you guys. So he said, you better come and play a pitch for me. And I said, well, as long as the guys are breaking up, I said, I'll be glad to. So Carl Roseanne and I, we went down to the chair company. We played with them. And in 1924, we took the championship that year, yeah. And 1926, March 1926, myself, Carl Roseanne, Red Elm, went to the Orioles. That was 27, I think, in 1927. And we took the championship that year. You talk about the Depression. There was no work. You couldn't find a job anywhere. Everybody was loafing. Everybody wondered what the other guy was doing. You couldn't get a job. I went down to welfare and asked for a job, and I got a job down in East Jamestown by the Bullfrog Inn. They had a little outhouse. He said, Harry, you sit there and count cars. I was sitting counting cars every once in a full moon, you know, the cars would by. That was my job. Well, anyway, Bruce don't remember, he was too little. I was from there at 11 midnight, 11 to 7 in the morning. And that was the job I had, and the last job I had there. I went down to Jamestown Launch Company and saw some of the guys, and I got a job there for 1 year. I worked in the sample room. I got $6.90 a week. Would pay them.
Jeez.
And so then Roosevelt was elected, and he raised our pay to $13.90, so we got double. But everybody was loafing, and everybody was wondering what the other guy was doing, and it was terrible. You wouldn't believe it, but the younger kids, you guys wouldn't remember it because we're too old. See, then in the welfare office, the girl come up and talked to my wife, and she says, "You're allowed 2 quarts of milk a day for the boys, so you got milk first." I was at the city market one day, and a friend of mine asked if I was working. His name is Swanson. He had the hay market. I says, "No. You can come and work for me. How about that?" "Well, I'll try it," I said. Tending bar. I never tended bar. I worked 7 years exactly for him. And I said, "The hell with this. I'm going to get a place of my own." So I went over to Mr. Eckberg. He had a place on Forest Avenue. So I said, "How about me buying you out?" "Well, I want to sell," he says. So I bought him out in 1941. And they named it Harry's Lunch. I got a letter from Saley. He owned the building. He wanted me to vacate within 30 days. I know what he wanted. He wanted to sell the building. They were hard up too, you know. So I bought the building, and I took possession on it September 30th, 1948. Then Joe Nagel used to come into my place and see me, and he'd say to Harry, at Harry's Lunch, we got talking one day, and he said, "How about getting the guys out and play ball?" So we put an ad in the paper. We started the Jamestown Area Old Timers in 1964. And you'd be surprised the guys that come out and was sitting home watching TV. They wanted to do something. They didn't know what to do, you know. And that's how the Old Timers started anyway. So I think that's about it. I had a little bit more here, I thought. Did I miss something? Oh, I guess that was it. That's about all I thought of, right?
Harry, did
I got lots of questions here. Lots of questions. Give me some background. Where were you born?
What?
Where were you born, Harry?
I was born in Jamestown on Kip Street, Kip and Faulkner.
And your parents came over from...
They come from Sweden, yeah.
Sweden?
My dad was a building contractor, a builder. And I worked with him up to the Depression. And that's when I left, see. And my dad said to me and my brother one day, he says, "Then you all 3 of us starved. Harry, why don't you go out and try to get another job?" So I said, "I'll do that." So I went out, and that's what happened. I went to these places, welfare and all these places. Everybody was in the same boat.
Sure.
Nobody had a job. It was funny.
As far
Got playing ball with the church company, and we done pretty good there. And Joe Nagel was a good manager. He was a good manager who had some damn good ball players.
what kind of league was that you were involved in?
They called it the City League.
City League.
Yeah, and they had good competition. We used to have people at the ballpark who, on the first base line, they'd be lined all the way out to the outfielder on the right field, past the first man, way down to the tennis court. They would stand and sit in the little bleachers we had.
Where did you play?
And we played at Allen Park.
Allen Park.
We played at Allen Park, and what a crowd we used to get. And I can remember when Hugh Beatty and Swan Erickson's two boys, they had a father and son's game there. And I heard that just right after that. Hugh Beatty's boy got killed in an airplane. Do you remember that? Was he your age?
Pardon?
What age was he? About your age? Was he
No.
older?
I think he was about 3 or 4 years older than I was.
He might have been,
Yeah.
yeah. Swan, his boy was there too. We played there, and I remember they dropped the ball from an airplane, and the guy was supposed to catch it. He didn't. He missed the damn thing. It's quite high, you know. Well, that's about all I
Well,
think
yeah.
of right now.
You saw Hugh Beatty pitch?
What?
Did you see Hugh Beatty pitch? Was he pitching Billy Webb Spiders and that stuff? Did you?
Yeah, Billy Webb Spiders, they were playing at the same time we were playing. Yeah. Joe and the Red, I think, went with the Spiders afterwards. I can remember, yeah.
What were the Spiders?
What?
What was the team? What was it? Just a semi-pro team?
Semi-pro team, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they were same as the Cherries, yeah. Yeah, they were good ball clubs, both of them. Yeah, that Sullivan Park used to be full all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had some beautiful crowds up there. The Homestead Grays would come in. Them guys were terrific, some of the black guys. They were good ball players. Yeah. The catcher would sit down, and Williams, he'd step. He'd sort of, he'd throw the ball, he'd hit it right smack in there. Very good, yeah. So,
But was Hugh Beatty pitching at the time?
Hugh Beatty was pitching for the Spiders, and so was SWAT. And then it was Drescher was pitching for him too. Yeah, Jacobson was playing first. Did you remember Jake? Young Faulkner.
Emil.
And Lehman Peterson was on third. I'm trying to think who the other guys were. I was quite young then. But,
If you closed your eyes now, could you see Hugh Beatty pitching? Was he a fastball pitcher? Was he a jump pitcher? Was he?
He was a mixed ball. He mixed the ball.
Yeah.
Swat was a fastball pitcher.
Well,
He could throw that ball very good too. Yeah, they were good, both of them.
Now,
Nate
both,
was good. Nate was good too.
both Hugh Beatty and Swat Erickson played in the major leagues?
They played with the Spiders, yeah.
But did they play in the major leagues, both of them then?
They what?
Did they play in the big leagues?
Oh, they both
did.
were
Did-
Washington.
Swat was with Washington. Hugh Beatty was with Boston.
So this was after their major league career.
This was after their major
Okay.
league career, of course. They were good pitchers and they had a good ball club. They did. That stand used to be pretty full up there all the time. They had a lot of good teams coming in there. Big Murph from Fredonia, he used to come over and play first. He played with the Spiders too, yeah. But Babe Ruth and them were on barnstorming. They'd come up there, and Babe Ruth would hit the ball over the bathhouse in left field. He knocked that ball right over there.
Did you happen to be at that game? Did you happen to go see Babe Ruth when he was here?
Well, I didn't see that game, but I read about it afterwards. Yeah. He was up there. I used to go up and see him play quite often. Yeah. Well, they had a terrific ball club.
How did you get from Jamestown to Celeron?
They had streetcars running. That open streetcars. That was the liveliest place around. It's full of rides, and things like that. And people would hang on these open cars.
it was
And
wild.
I remember one car right after the other would be going in and out. They had all these entertainment up there. Big nightclub, nightclub, and a dance hall, the Pier Ballroom. Used to go there and dance, and that place would be packed. Guy Lombardo would come in with his band there, and his big bands would come in. Well, you see that crowd in there. It was an old theater, but they'd taken leveled the floor up, and then people would sit in the boxes and watch them dance. And then they played a dime a dance. You have ropes, you'd have to ask your party to dance. You show a ticket. That place was packed all the time. You don't believe up with the crowd, do they? Yeah, it was terrible. Yeah.
Harry, you said you played with the Orioles.
Yeah.
Where was Oriole Field and who took care of it?
Oriole Field, Gene Mahoney's father owned the Oriole Field. It was over on Buffalo Street, just on the end of the pavement right there to the right. It was right there. And Mr. Mahoney used to take care of it. So anyway, see, what else was I going to say? Ike Isaacson, he was a manager of the Orioles. And he used to, they built a field up just for the Orioles. I think I quit 2 years before that, when I was up there. And I had enough. I was married, I had a family to take care of. And so I kind of quit until we got to the old timers.
Did they have a wooden grandstand and everything?
They had a
there?
wooden grandstand, or a little bleachers set there, yeah. They had, Oriole Field was fenced in, so it was an infield, yeah. You couldn't get in unless you had to pay. But Mr. Mahoney, he owned the land, and they built the, I don't know what happened to the other fields. They've gotten smaller stuff.
Is that the same Mahoney's? One of the boys went to Notre Dame.
The what?
One of the Mahoney's. I read about this. There was a guy from Jamestown who played Notre Dame football.
Yeah, Gene played with Notre Dame. Yeah, that's right. Gene played with Notre Dame. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
the
he
son.
was
Son?
a football.
That's the son of the one
The
that
son,
Is
yeah.
that right?
Tom was his father. Yeah.
Just a total aside. I was in California, and I saw an old bookshop, and I tend to pull in there to see if they got old magazines or something. And there was a program.
You didn't know Gene, did you?
Pardon?
Did you know
I
Gene?
did not know Gene.
No, I didn't think so. You wouldn't know.
And there was a program for sale for $5, and it said Notre Dame Army. So I picked it up in 1928. Picked it up, I looked at it, and there, I'm going down the list, and it said Mahoney. I look over, and it said Jamestown. Hey,
Thank you.
gotta buy it. I didn't
Right.
know Mr. Mahoney was
there.
man. So I get back, and
Well,
his
Gene-
wife is still alive.
Gene was a catcher too, you know.
Was that right?
He caught for the Orioles afterwards. Milt Reynolds, he pitched. I got Milt in there because he used to work at the store. And he was a lefty. And naturally, you throw the ball. He's very easy with the ball. So I taught him, and I got him in to pitch for the Orioles. So Milt, he pitched for the Orioles for quite a few years.
Okay.
But he got drinking. That was a bad habit he had. And he came in, he'd been in the hospital for the cure. He came in to me one day, I was working at the Tenny bar. He came in to me, he said, hi, he called me Swede. He said, Swede, how about a drink? I said, Milt, I wouldn't give you a drink if you would pay me $100. Well, by God, I'll get us someplace else. I said, Milt, don't go and drink. I said, that's what you've been cured for. Milt, they got you pretty good now, so stay there. What did he do? What he did, he went up to 2nd Street to Dugan's, and he got plastered. He died 2 days afterwards.
Wow.
Yeah, Milt died 2 days afterwards.
Go ahead, Greg, finish your story.
Just a quick one. I then brought this program back, kind of curious about Army, Notre Dame, what happened that particular day. Actually, I called Mrs. Mahoney. I thought maybe he was Mr. Mahoney still alive, and he might want to see me.
Gene, he was a hothead, you know. Gene was catching, you know. They could get on his nerves so fast.
Sorry.
And when I pitched to Red Elm, he wasn't that way. He was a good heady catcher. And Roseanne had the best peg to second than anybody I ever saw. He could throw that ball about 6 inches off the ground, right on the bag. He'd catch most of the guys, you know, when I was pitching. Yeah.
Just to quickly conclude, that particular program, that particular day, Gene Mahoney played at was the game where Coach Rockney was into the halftime and said, let's win one for the Gifford.
Be darned.
When you talk about dumb luck of finding the program of the game, that's $5. That's a great deal. Don't offer me 5. But anyways, Jamestown was represented at that game, that particular game.
That's the Ronald Reagan movie, right?
That's right.
Yeah, it's a great line. I'm 91 now. So you guys are all
You hide it
kids.
very well.
You guys are all kids. Even Tommy's a kid.
Not bad for 91.
Did you ever think of playing pro ball, Harry?
Thought of it, but busy with my dad, and he needed me, and I wasn't too interested. I just liked to play ball, really. And one time I was pretty good, not right, just because I'm saying it myself. But what I threw it was a straight ball, curve, or a drop. I had good control. I could put that ball anywhere the guy put his glove, and that helped a lot, Very seldom would walk a guy. I would rather hit him or something like that. But I never want to walk a guy and get him on free. But that's where they score the most of the time. They get a hit, they're going to score, So I was always careful about walking a guy. Yeah.
It's interesting, when we were playing, they used to throw a drop.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I never heard that expression
Never
used
heard it
in
again.
professional baseball.
I don't know what they call it now.
I don't know if they even,
Is that a slider or
yeah,
screwball
whatever
or?
happened to the drop?
They call it a fork ball now.
Is that what it is, fork ball?
Yeah, but a fork ball is an off-speed, almost off, that's a slip fish. This was a drop, that ball,
Yeah.
that'll drop.
I could throw a booper ball,
Rip Sewell back?
booper ball, a Sewell. I could throw that.
Would you really?
I remember once I threw it down to the league game, a guy was standing there with down right in the middle of the bay. The guy says, "You're out." What do you mean out? Well, you're striking it right in the middle of the plate. I used to throw that for the fun was the one.
Harry, does the name Pat Gallagher mean anything to you?
It sounds familiar.
Guy down at Gunnell and Carlson who used to put up the score?
Gunnell Carlson, that's I know. I remember them places, yeah. Pat Gallagher, yeah. What did he do?
Apparently, no, he was not even a ball player. He was just a short guy, as I recall. I don't recall, but I've heard the stories here.
Oh,
He used to go put the scores up at Gunnell and Carlson, and he would always wear a uniform. And
I probably knew him, yeah. There's so many people I knew there.
Was it Jack Gallagher, who used to be the bat boy?
Jack Gallagher's the bat boy.
Did your father used to work at Gunnell Carlson? Right, that was before television. Those were live scores. That's right. Where you watch the guy with the chalk.
So many things happened, I don't know. My wife used to say to me, "Is that all you do is play ball?" Boy, I would say.
Harry, I've never had anybody tell me about Billy Webb, the person.
Billy Webb, yeah, I knew Billy Webb, not personal, but I've talked to him. But Billy Webb was a little short guy, kind of bow-legged. But he was a good manager. He could manage that team, He had good ball players, and he never had any trouble with them. But in later years at Red Elm and Sandy Junta, you remember Sandy Junta, you guys? He's a dentist. He's in Warren. Anyway, he played with him too, And then it was Swanson. What the heck was his first name, right? You remember Swanson? Yeah. He played with Billy Webb too,
Now, was that an honor to be on his team because they played like you say, was that a distinction among the ball players to be asked to play for Billy Webb so that you could go to other towns on weekends and play games?
Yeah, I guess he did ask people to do that, yeah. Yeah, he would, yeah. But Hugh Obedient, he was a good pitcher. He was a heady pitcher. Yeah, at Swat, he was firing them in there like, he'd fire them so hard that you catch it, slip it, and wiggle, yeah. Yeah. They're good ball players, though.
Along that same period of time, there were two other guys from this area who went to the major leagues. Wonder if they played here. Leon Carlson, did he play with you at all? Leon,
That could be,
he played with the Senators. He's from Jamestown.
yeah. Well,
Lakeland.
Leon.
Really? Never knew
Leon, you're thinking of Leon? Yeah, Leon was quite a pitcher. He played with Jamestown. Yeah, that's right. I forgot about him. Leon
Is that
pitched
right?
too, yeah.
1 year, 25.
Did he play basketball?
Charlie's dad. Charlie was.
Charlie's dad, yeah.
Yeah, I
Charlie.
played football with Charlie in college.
Leon was a good ball pitcher. He had a roofing company down in Faulkner.
Charlie Carlson?
Afterwards, yeah. Yeah.
Lakeland. Yeah.
Waco, yeah.
Another one was Ray Caldwell. Did he come back in?
Ray Caldwell, yeah, I played with Ray. Ray from Warren, yeah. We used to play, we had old-timers team that would pick up the guys, we'd go to Warren and play. We'd play down there, and then they'd come up and play us at the stadium. And SWAT was playing with us then, yeah, the old-timers. And I made a mistake by taking a bottle of whiskey down there one day. And SWAT, he stood in the dugout drinking and razzing all the Ward players. I said, can't you keep your big mouth shut? He said, don't leave them guys alone. Well, you shouldn't have given me the whiskey.
Well, it's your fault, right?
My fault, yeah. So SWAT, he was funny. His boy never was the ball player that SWAT was. I think, you know his first name, Bruce? The son?
What was his?
Watt Edwin, isn't it?
Berwin.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Berwin.
Yeah.
Berwin.
Yeah,
He worked for the, was that SWAT
telephone
also?
company.
Did they call him,
Right.
work for
SWAT.
the city? or-
Telephone
I
company.
caught his son, you know.
Telephone company, right.
He threw an awful heavy ball. I've caught him. He threw an awful
I played with
heavy
him
ball.
on Musket
It's a
Ranch.
difference in it. I don't know what makes
It's
it.
gotta be a tough act to follow, though.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
dad being a major league ball player, it's gotta be tough.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything about Caldwell, Ray Caldwell?
Oh, Ray, well, I caught him a little bit down in Warren. I was down, no, I didn't catch him. I caught SWAT down there because our catcher was, he was a little blacksmith, but he didn't see very good, so I said, I better help you out a little bit. Hey, good idea, that guy throws pretty hard. Yeah. So I caught SWAT, but Ray Caldwell, I think he played a little bit with Jamestown too. Yeah, he come up and played with Jamestown, helped them out. Yeah, Ray was a nice guy. He worked down at the Red Wing there when he was home on leave. Yeah. Who was he playing with? He was playing with the big league.
I played with the Yankees, played with the
I guess he
Cleveland
did.
Indians. and the
Yeah,
Red Sox.
Yankees, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Someday I'm going to do a story on Caldwell. Utterly fascinating. I'm sorry to do this, but Caldwell, he was traded from the Yankees, it was the Highlanders at the time, to Cleveland, and then shortly thereafter
They give it to-
pitched against the New York team, and he threw a no hitter. And shortly thereafter, I mean, that was a big deal. And then he was pitching, and it was the ninth inning. He was in Cleveland, top of the ninth inning, 1920. He's pitching, all of a sudden thunderous clouds come in, the whole 9 yards, and he's out there pitching, all of a sudden there's an electric storm. Ray Caldwell,
Uh-huh.
and you, as a Doogie Barrett would say, you can
He was
look
a
it up,
good
got
pitcher.
struck by lightning on the pitching mound. Got knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
So he's on the ground, and they come out and give him, I don't know what they call it then, was artificial resuscitation. Kind of comes to. He then gets up, you all right, you're all right, you're all right. He takes the balls and, I'm going to finish this game.
Okay.
He finishes this game, and he closes out, and the Indians win.
Uh-huh.
But there's this extraordinary event that occurred, the only time ever, but it's one of our local guys. You know, Ray Caldwell.
What a neat thing.
So,
That wasn't the no-hitter.
that was not the no-hitter. No, that would be too much.
That would be too much.
I remember Marionville, he used to play with Boston. They used to play the Spiders up there. He'd stand on shortstop and make flip-flops. Then he'd take a flip-flop before the ball got to him sometimes.
Like Ozzie Smith.
He was a good ball player.
Yeah.
He was terrific. He'd take a flip-flop before the ball gets to him. The guys, you just don't look at him. Yeah, some good old days.
Now, did you go up during the 40s? Did you get involved in the local professional baseball at all with the Falcons? Did you get to know some of the guys, the Johnny Newmans of the world?
I know Johnny. I know Johnny Newman. Yeah, I didn't know him too well.
Dad, why don't you tell him about Stubby Overmeyer?
Ted Wybernack, I know him well.
Used to manage the Falcons?
Ted Wybernack, he used to come in the place all the time. He used to come in and play cribbage with me. Ted did, yeah. He was a nice guy. It's too bad what happened to Ted.
Yes, yeah.
It was too bad. He drove all the way to north, where was it? Out there near California somewhere.
Yeah, Northern
He
California.
was up in Oregon.
Yeah.
Oregon.
He got sick, yeah. He never pulled out of it.
You played with Ted, did you, Tommy? Did you play with Ted?
Ted and Tommy
26.
played together, yeah. Yeah, I know that. They played together.
Both, that's interesting. Both Tommy and Ted were pitchers and didn't you play
Infielder.
infielder and third base? Ted played
I
first.
played short.
You played short.
in the Carolina League.
Now, he became a pitcher after he was a third baseman?
Yeah.
Was that the way it worked with you? You were an infielder first, then you became a pitcher. Right. I'm trying to think, who's a major leaguer that did? For Cleveland, Bob Lemon, they used to be a third baseman.
Yeah.
Ted, he was a great guy.
Yeah.
Jim Rooker, who played in Jamestown,
That's how sorry.
1960s, he came in.
Just like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
He used to come down and visit
then
with me.
came back the next year
And he
as a
stopped
pitcher.
at Harry's lunch. He said, he would sit home nights.
And we had a pretty good
He
major
would
league
beat
career.
somebody and
But he
I'll go down and play
transitioned
Harry
to Dixon.
cribbage.
Is he still broadcasting?
A marvelous man.
He learned to play
Even though he
cribbage
lost to
down there.
Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, he still-
He's such a nice, terrific guy.
He lost a bet,
Yeah.
and he said if he lost a bet, he would walk from.
I'm sorry I
Philadelphia
can't
to
answer all
Pittsburgh,
these
wasn't it?
questions.
He
You're
had to-
doing
he
it.
had to do it.
Do my best, that's
Did
all.
it in stages, but.
I'm too old now.
You know, Wybernack, he was a.
Yeah, I knew most of them
He
guys.
played pro basketball, too.
I had a couple of nice friends
Russ,
in
didn't
Warren.
he play with the
Charles
Rochester
Lance.
Royals?
Yes.
He worked in the hospital.
He played with the Davids too a couple of
Wait a
years.
minute, I never heard that about that.
Yeah, he played with the Rochester Royals.
No, I never knew that.
He was a great basketball
He was
player.
scouted more as a basketball player than he was a baseball player.
I never knew that.
Yeah. His talent was really in basketball.
That's interesting.
In fact, I think I would picture Ted giving me at home.
I don't know if he played up there with Bobby Davies and Wanzer and Arnie Rison played up there or not.
The old two-hand set shot.
Oh, yeah.
What memories, Bruce mentioned, do you have of Stubby Overmeyer?
Stubby Overmeyer, he used to come into Harry's lunch.
Yeah?
Yeah, he'd come in with the ball players. Stubby used to come into Harry's lunch. They'd sit there and have a beer or two. That's right. Stubby used to come in, yeah.
What kind of guy was he? Other than Stubby?
Stubby,
Was
he
he
was a
nice?
nice guy, Stubby was. He was a good manager too. Did Stubby work under you? Or you?
No.
No, he was
Marv
before-
Olson.
He was before you,
Yeah.
yeah. Stubby was, yeah. Stubby was a nice guy. I like Stubby.
Where was, excuse me, I'm the only guy that doesn't know the answer to this question. Where was Harry's lunch?
What?
Where was Harry's lunch?
You never knew where it was? Just off Brooklyn Square,
A sheltered life.
on Forest Avenue. It's right by the city market, across from the city market. You know where the city market was?
Sure do, Mike.
It was on the corner of Market and Forest. This Market, and it's across the street.
Yeah, okay, all right, I'm there. My grandfather had a stall at the city market, Carlson's.
Yeah, not Cornell Carlson's?
Well, no, this was Carl Carlson,
It was
this
Carlson,
was known as Baptiste
the
Carlson.
C.S. Carlson there
C.S.
too.
Carlson.
There's a C.S. Carlson.
That's my grandfather.
Oh. John Hook, Ernie Hooks, he played ball with me. He was a fielder. His father had a stall in there too, yeah. Yeah.
Actually, Greg, Donaldson's storage building
Right.
Yeah.
was right across the alley.
Okay.
There was an alley between Donaldson's and Harry's Lunch.
How to explain it?
Stockwell Chemicals
You
owns
know,
that
you know where
property.
good
Yeah,
is?
right in that area.
Did you know where the Gifford building was?
Sure, sure.
My building was right next to it.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right, thank you.
well, kind of attached to it, yeah.
I used to go in there every year when they had the YMCA basketball tournament.
That's right.
Oil City.
Because I knew all those guys,
Right.
knew all those guys from Oil City, and
They had some good teams,
Oh,
good Gerald City guys.
They were awesome.
we used to pray we didn't play against them at the.
Yeah. And, I had a basketball team out of Oil City, the Oil City Travelers. They played for me there. Ted Weibernack was the guy that mentioned this team to me. They wanted to sponsor. I said, boy, tell them to come in here. Them guys could play basketball. They beat everything.
That was a good tournament, though. We had quality teams, college guys home. and
Ted was refereeing then, I think.
Rwanda, Salamanca, local
Really?
teams.
Quality tournament.
Just get a lot of college guys coming back
Yeah,
and play under a
all
different
college
name.
guys. They were good.
I played one year in there with Corkery and Nolan and Bednar.
Kenny Martin was a good ball player. That's my nephew. And he was a terrific ball player. He could have gone places if he'd have stayed in baseball.
Yeah.
He made the mistake of coming home, and then he didn't go back. Too bad.
And they wouldn't give Kenny his release either. They didn't give him his release
I heard
until.
they're pretty
Is
good
that
too.
right? They
Yeah.
want to keep him in there.
Oh, yeah, the Dodgers.
Kevin
had
ain't as
his
good,
rights,
though.
and they wouldn't release him. They didn't release him until he was
Kenny
in
was
his 40s, I think.
Yeah, he was a fine ball player. He had a little problem with a curveball.
Yeah.
Other than that, he was just a great fielder, hitter.
Kenny was a terrific ball player. He could have made the big time.
As long as Weibernack didn't pitch against him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez, that was awful.
Right.
Dick Ringer.
Yeah.
Well,
Three
Ted-
curveballs and he
Ted
was.
went quite a ways too.
Ted had an awesome career.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned Bobby Carlson. I don't think anybody ever had a better curveball than Bobby Carlson. He was. Do you remember Bob
Yeah,
Carlson?
From a distance.
Marshall, you know Marshall.
Yeah.
Would be his younger brother.
Oh yeah.
And Bob retired about 2 years ago, Mark told me.
Yeah, he did. And he remarried to
Did he?
this very younger gal. And but what a curveball he had. We never hit against him like you guys did.
Jamestown High School had probably the best pitching staff that one year when they had John Y. Carlson and Bobby and Ben Spitzer.
Right. Unbelievable.
And hitters.
22-1 we were.
It was Tommy
22
Cerro.
and 1.
Right.
You played with them, didn't you, Bruce? In high school.
It was an easy, it was
Yeah,
easy to
good
play
team.
against a guy like, with a guy pitching like that. It was just,
Excuse me.
you sit back and go to sleep. 18 strikeouts a game, and you guys from Faulkner were, no slouches.
Yeah, it's a ball club. Could never beat Bobby. Never.
Good
Well, you
point,
did
Greg.
fine, Harry.
Oh, you
Very
played-
enjoyable.
Remember we played in the B League. You
A lot of
played
good
with
memories.
Yes.
They come into the bar, they're always tough when they come in, and they want, "Come on, I want to fight you, Harry." Well, I says, I'm pretty busy now, but I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll be your manager. I'll get fights for you. That ended the argument.
that's great.
So quick, but I'll be your manager. Yeah, kick out these guys. All those fights are going to drink.
Oh, that's cute. I remember that
How old
one.
were you last you played baseball?
Yeah.
How old were you last you played baseball?
What?
How old were you last you played baseball?
When I attended bars?
Well, how old were you when you last played, Dad? How old were you when you last played baseball?
Last played. See, I played with the old timers then.
Right.
See, I think it was about 84. when I quit.
He was probably
He tried
80.
to.
See, my eyes went bad. I had cataract, so I had an operation. And I don't see the same. No, but I'll manage it. That'll take care of it. Took care of all my fights. Ward Burns was working one night. Some big guy come in the back door. Ward says, "You can't have anything to drink." "That's what you say." Ward says, "I mean it." He grabbed him by the collar. He never opened the screen door back there. He put him right through the screen door out in the alley. Ward, he was pretty tough, you know.